Fotyga, MEP. You're the chair of the Security and Defence Subcommittee in the Parliament. What is your view on the situation in Iran today?
Well, it is certainly a very difficult topic, taking into account the location of this country. So it is much easier to talk about Iranian people than the policies of the country. When we had presentations here in the European Parliament on the accord deal reached between main powers and Iran, we were told about various provisions for holding the Iranian regime accountable for this agreement. It seems that not all parties were dedicated to fulfill these provisions. From my discussions with representatives of state parties and the EU high officials, it seems that actually, regardless to administration in the United States, it is the American view that was the most rational, I would say. So looking into checks and balances in the accord. Actually, many EU member states or businesses within these member states just rushed to make deal with Iranian enterprises, business. And when we know about the chain of subordination in this country, it is more than doubtful whether this approach was to bring peace and prosperity to Iranian people.
Sanctions are very tough. Sanctions are tough on ordinary people, people who aren't part of the regime. Do you think they are a helpful tool in this situation?
Yeah, there are a variety of instruments when you impose sanctions. It is always possible to differentiate sanctions, to strike directly at people who are most responsible for atrocities for their own society. Here, attending the conference organized in the European Parliament by Friends of Free Iran and in participation of the National Council for Resistance of Iran, I was speaking about our Polish experience. I lived in Poland under martial law, and I was part of the opposition. I opposed communist rule, and we supported sanctions, knowing that we were members of society who probably were to perish by this as well. But we knew that it was probably the only way to crush on communist elite at that time. Now I think there are much better tools. These sanctions, but the problem is that political will is needed, that sanctions should be directed, should be personalized as well. We have much better knowledge of instrument and possibilities how to do. And one additional thing, with huge atrocities we have while commemorating the adoption of important human rights acts, bettering the UN system for international humanitarian law. We have to remember also that impunity of perpetrators should be eradicated from our minds, from the state of international affairs. It's impossible to receive perpetrators of massive crimes in, let's say, European salons.